wanting to talk about the miracles of Jesus, and there's a place over here on the eastern side of the Sea of Galilee that you're taking us. What miracle did Jesus perform over here?
This is the miracle of Jesus casting the demons into the swine, a site called Curzy. We know this event happened directly on the Sea of Galilee because we know that the swines ran down a steep embankment and into the sea. Jeremy, we've come to the eastern side of the Sea of Galilee and we've kind of climbed the hill a little bit. And I did that because I wanted us to read a passage. They came to the other side of the sea, the country of the Gerasenes. And when Jesus had stepped out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. And of course we know this story as the story in which Jesus has compassion on this gentleman and heals him of his demons.
Now, this is a really famous story. This is the man that is possessed by Legion, and the other gospel accounts let us know that there were 2 men that were healed that day. It was during that trip over here from Capernaum when Jesus calmed the storm. And as soon as he finished healing this man, they asked him to leave, and so he sailed right back. He came over here for 2 Gentile men across a stormy sea, which I think speaks a lot to the compassion of Jesus.
We know that he cast the demons out of the man and into a herd of pigs, and the herd, numbering about 2,000, rushed down the steep bank into the sea and drowned into the sea. And of course you can kind of picture that whole story happening right here. It's not just a cliff that goes to the edge of the water. There was a considerable distance, at least a few hundred yards, between the bottom of the embankment and the water's edge.
That just changes how I've always imagined that. That herd of swine would have rushed down this really steep hill, gone across this flat area, and then run into the sea. Normally, an animal has a sense of self-preservation. And so even though it may have survived running down a steep embankment, it would have stopped in the plain, but these thousands of pigs didn't, which further attests to the fact that there was something controlling them other than themselves. Jesus performed signs that demonstrated that he was from God, that he had control over everything and everyone, even spiritual forces like demons. You know, the details at the beginning of Mark's account of this event are really helpful because they let us know the desperate condition that this man was in. He was separated from his family. He was living in the graveyard. He was basically living as a dead person. He was out of his mind, out of control. He was hurting himself, showing these signs of deep distress. And Jesus takes care of all of those things. So when the people come back out, he's sitting, he's clothed, he's in his right mind. It would have been a startling and a shocking sight for the people to come out of town and to see the aftermath of those animals drowning and to see someone who they had tried to help for so long finally healthy and in his right mind. And something that's emphasized down through the text is the begging that takes place. When Jesus gets there and Legion recognizes Jesus, he begs Jesus to spare him. And then later on, you have the townspeople begging Jesus to leave them because they're afraid of him. And then you have the man who's been healed begging to go with Jesus, the man who's finally helped him. And I think what Mark is trying to help us do in that chapter is to challenge us with how are we going to respond? Are we going to be so afraid of him that we beg him to leave like they did, or are we going to respond as the healed man and beg to stay close to him because of what he does for us?
I'm Craig.
And I'm Stu, and we're the founders of Appian Media.
We really hope that you've enjoyed the content that you've just seen. This was only made available through the generous donations of so many of you.
We believe that the world should have biblically accurate, visually engaging content about the Bible, and it should be free for everyone.
We would encourage you to visit the membership page of appianmedia.org and consider becoming a reoccurring member. Everything that you donate to Appian Media is tax deductible.
However you decide to donate, we really appreciate your support.